the best tasting radio show in all of South Louisiana. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Welcome to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany. Here we talk about all the food happenings around Acadiana. If you like food, tune in. You might learn something new. Welcome back. It's a rainy one out there. It's kind of a dreary day. Ever since I had Pepin's for lunch this past week, which if you're not familiar, Pepin's is a gas station off of Dulles, in the Dulles area, and they make amazing Cuban sandwiches. And then on the weekends, they do Cuban plate lunches. And I happened to be chained to my desk one day at work and decided to get some Pepin's through Waiter. And they have yuca fries now on the menu. So you can get your Cuban sandwich and you can get yuca fries to go with it. And it was the most amazing yuca that I've had since going to Miami. And if you're not familiar with what yuca is, it is a relative of the potato. And I mean, that's kind of what it tastes like. It tastes like a potato. It's usually real thick how they prepare it. They usually boil it or fry it. And they'll serve it with a garlicky olive oil dipping sauce, which is part of the fun of it. So ever since I had this meal, I've been dreaming about Miami and going to visit Miami and eating the amazing Cuban food that Miami has to offer. And with this dreary weather that we've been having, I need the beach in my life. I have not been to the beach in so long, and I really just need the beach in my life. You just came back from the beach.
And it was wonderful, and I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, AJ McGee is tonight's guest co-host.
Hello.
And he is a recent graduate from UL.
Yes,
you were
finally out.
You were in the process of graduating last time you came on the show, and now you're a graduate, and you have a full-time job now with the company that you were working part-time with.
Yeah.
So is it the same?
Yeah, so a little bit different. So with Right Angle, I went from part-time PR coordinator to full-time PR director. So still in the same place, but doing a little bit more responsibility, which is a lot more fun.
Have you been to Miami before?
I've never been to Miami.
Okay, so the Cuban food, we have okay Cuban food here.
Right.
And Pepin's is probably the closest.
Okay.
But it just, the food there is so amazing. They have these little bodegas, and you can get Cuban coffee and all these great, like, not just your standard Cuban sandwich, but like different variations of Cuban food. And just like the boiled yuca, like, because that was the first way I had it. It was like the whole thing, and it was boiled, and it was just like the garlic sauce and everything was amazing with it.
I've only scratched the surface even here because I just went to like Cafe Havana recently.
Which is good.
Patacon, I think, is the other place that's right down Bertrand. I haven't been there, but like
they're amazing.
A lot of their social media posts and want to go eat everything.
Yeah.
So like I have a lot of work to do here.
So Patacon and Pepin's on the weekend sometime have I call it a Cuban lasagna, and it's like a lasagna. Instead of the noodles, they use plantains. Mm-hmm. And I've been wanting, the food is different but similar. Yeah. Between the two, Patacon is Venezuelan, and then Cafe Havana is more Caribbean, Miami, Cuban influence. But God, it's so
delicious.
Yeah. Well, I remember. So for my senior trip, we went to Miami, and my best friend at the time is Cuban, and we stayed with her Cuban grandmother who like took us everywhere. And then we came back to Lafayette, and that's when Cafe Havana had just opened, and like Guama's had just opened here in town. So we used to go there a lot and eat it. And it was good, but it wasn't like what we experienced there. The most amazing paella, which I will say Pamplona's paella is very good and similar to it, but just really great paella. And oh man, I need the beach in my life.
Yes.
And I need like a fruity drink out of a coconut or maybe even a pineapple or watermelon.
Pineapple. I love a drink out of a pineapple.
We had 4 restaurants close this past week. So on last week's show, Hurricane Grill had just announced that they were closing. So they closed. Country Cuisine closed, which I'm really upset about.
Sad.
Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
And Guidry's Reef, which was another one that I was kind of upset about because I wrote about them. And like, I remember the owner emailed me and was like, thanking me so much for, you know, featuring them. And I had a really great seafood salad there, but they closed. And I feel like it's only the beginning. And I feel like more are going to be on the chopping block.
Yeah, which is scary. I was super, super sad about Country Cuisine and like heard so many great things. Like everyone was like singing praises of Guidry's Reef.
Late night plate lunch. Yeah.
And I didn't even know that they had. I've been for lunch, but I didn't even know that they had.
On Friday and Saturday nights.
Option,
yeah.
Which I would have definitely taken advantage of.
Apparently, they were also not paying sales tax, which was part of the issue of their closing. They owed so much and they were collecting sales tax and not paying their sales tax. And I think Hurricane was having similar issues with that.
Yeah.
Now, with Mellow Mushroom closing, there was the rumor that a seafood restaurant wanted the space, and that was part of the reason why they closed. And then later on, it was announced that Drago's has finally found a home in Lafayette. They're going to be opening where Mellow Mushroom was in that space. You've been to Drago's, so tell us about that.
I love, and I don't know if it's Drago's or Drago's. Like, I feel like people
we'll just say Drago's. It's fine.
But I am like being from New Orleans. Like that used to be like one of my birthday restaurants because I am a sucker for a seafood pasta, and I think that they have a really good one. So like I would be all about it. I don't know. Like now that I have eaten so many places here in Lafayette, like I don't know if it's gonna be my number one birthday place here.
Right. So they did an interview with the owner, and he was a little cocky, talking about how he's bringing good food, which the owner of Half Shell also had the same kind of cockiness.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, hold up.
Yeah.
We are very close to Abbeville, which is where I go for oysters.
Right.
And there's so many amazing seafood restaurants in Abbeville, and please be quiet because you don't know what you're talking about. And that's been a lot on social media. Like I've seen a lot of people, you know, reacting to his reaction to that. Yeah. And while I think that they were successful in New Orleans, I feel like they're not going to be successful here. Yeah. But I mean, it remains to be seen. Yeah. I know there are several people that are super excited that they're opening, but I mean, what makes their oysters so different? Or is it the other menu items? Is it like the seafood pasta and
people go for the oysters. People love the charbroiled. Like I'm not a big raw or charbroiled oyster fan, to be honest. What I do love is a carb, and I will like eat bread and dip it in like the oyster sauce, but like actually eating the oysters themselves is not my jam. But my family would go and like devour an order of their charbroiled oysters. So like their charbroiled oysters are a big deal.
Okay.
To oyster.
See, and I'm gonna go check it out, like, you know, to give an honest opinion of it. But I feel like Abbeville is like right there, and it's I mean maybe it is a little bit of a drive. But speaking of seafood pasta, Dupuis in Abbeville has a really good seafood pasta.
And I haven't eaten anywhere in Abbeville yet.
Yeah, maybe that's where I send people for seafood. Like if somebody's wanting to eat seafood, I'm like, go to Abbeville because it's from William Parish. Like it's good stuff that they have there. And I guess I can see like in Lafayette, we may not necessarily. I feel like we do have a lot of seafood restaurants, but apparently we don't. So we'll see. You know how it works out. I'm curious. That location is said to be cursed.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. We were talking about before the show that you think it's a bad location.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I was kind of like, I don't understand why it is a bad location because the movie theater is right there. There's a bar that's right there too. I feel like that would be bringing traffic in. You know, somebody was saying that traffic was bad in the area. There's a light right there, so I don't really get that mentality. Yeah. But you were kind of like, nah.
And I don't think traffic's bad. I just like think the parking lot is kind of funky, and I'm not a fan of that. And then I'm not a movie goer.
Yeah,
I never go to
you're
movies,
not like.
So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm never gonna be over there like, oh, let's go get some seafood and then go to the movies. Like that's never gonna be my MO. But
All right.
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
They'll break first, maybe.
All right. We're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we have more with AJ. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPL.
From Boudin to the best burgers Acadiana has to offer, it's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPL.
Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Deku, and joining tonight as guest co-host is AJ McGee. I love the fact that we almost ran out of time talking about food before we went on air because we were just like so in it, and that I'm now getting Little Caesars pizza after the show because that's what I kept talking about. I'm craving pizza. And then you're getting Mama's fried chicken because you're going to Appaloosa's after the show. So I was like, yeah, we got our night set. Okay, so we're gonna take a moment to talk about the beloved taco, which is probably the food item besides boudin that I could eat every day for the rest of my life. And when Paul Credo came on the show, we were talking about the new taco truck that opened up behind Landry's on Cameron Street. It's called La Papa Loca, and it's not really a truck. It's more of a cart. Mm-hmm. And oh my God.
So what?
I would like to camp out there. I would like to live in the truck, in the little cart.
So like, I haven't been to any of, like, I haven't been to La Papa Loca. I haven't been to Stars. Like, I haven't been to any of these taco trucks or carts. So, like, walk me through.
Okay. So we'll talk about La Papa Loca. They're open every day but Monday, I believe, and it's like 10 to 11 o'clock at night. So if you're wanting that late night taco fix, go check them out. They take cards too. They take cards, so that's fabulous. And they have a little menu on there. So they have tacos, they have gorditas, which is what I got, and they were fabulous. They have tamales, which are wrapped in the banana leaf. Yeah. They were not my favorite tamales, so I probably won't get the tamales again. They have burritos. They have just like plates with like the whole fish on it. Just real good. I like the tacos there because they make their tacos. And like I actually saw her making the tacos while we were there. And the gorditas were fabulous. I got the chorizo one. Now it came with this super hotter than Hades hot sauce that I did not eat. The salsa verde that came with the tacos, I got that instead. So Star Tacos, I really like their tamales. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily say they're the most authentic, but they have like po' boys, burgers, tacos. They have something called, they call their tostadas vampires on there. And they're good. They're, they're different. I would not really necessarily say that they're authentic, but they have really good tamales. So that's why I like that one. El Cazador has been around the longest out of them. Okay. They're the ones that's parked by that washateria on Dulles and Ambassador. And they have really good tacos as well. So the guy that I had the tacos with likes their tacos better because they come with all the pickled vegetables. And the La Papa Locas didn't.
Okay. And you need the fixings.
Right. Like but they're both good. Like they're both, I would eat both of them equally. Yeah. Like I would go to both of them, but kind of La Papa Loca kind of has my heart right now because of those gorditas. Like they were so good. So a gordita is like an arepa, which is, it's like that cornmeal sandwich almost. Yeah. Except, so like an arepa will have more, they have like chimichurri sauces and they'll put like plantains and stuff like that. Yeah. This is like a taco. Like the taco fixins will be in the gordita, and it was so good. And on Saturdays and Sundays they open at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'm fairly certain that they're gonna have breakfast tacos, and I need like a potato and egg taco in my life. My dad used to make the most amazing breakfast tacos growing up, and I'm kind of like envisioning and hoping that they have the breakfast tacos there. Yeah. So those are the three, taco truck options here in Lafayette. And
I'm like taking serious notes.
Yeah, because you said you just went to San Antonio and you had some good, well, you did not have the best taco experience there.
So I don't want anyone to hate me, But I did just go to San Antonio and tried out Torchy's Tacos, and I was like not a fan.
Which is surprising. So they're based out of Austin.
Yeah.
And usually when people talk about tacos in Austin, they'll talk about Torchy's and they're like, oh my God, they're so amazing. And you were not impressed.
I felt so bad because everyone has like said nothing but good things about Torchy's. And I don't know if it was my fault. Like maybe I was in the wrong because I did get them to go. Like we stayed in a hotel and we wanted to just like get it and go back to our hotel. And I did get the tuna, the ahi tuna, and the fried avocado.
Which I felt like they were known for their fried avocado.
Yeah, that's why I got them, because I was like, I have a friend who like live and die by the fried avocado. And I just wasn't like it was like a really weird flavor things happening to me. And my sisters got the Democrat, which I'd also heard a lot of people say that they loved. And I was just like,
not that great.
yeah. Now, what I did love was all the sauces that it came with. I thought were amazing. And the queso. I could have taken a bath in the white queso. Like, that was a serious...
There's something to be said for a cheese dip.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
It's so not authentic, but it's still amazing. Like, I still want that cheese dip with my margaritas. Yeah.
So,
we get it.
In taco world, I'll still say that, like, as of right now, Rum House in New Orleans on Magazine still has my heart. And, like, if anyone wants to be a contender for that spot, feel free. But Torchy's hasn't done it for me yet. And Oh My Taco is on my list to try here.
So we were talking about that. Oh My Taco is an Austin-style taco. So it's going to be like a fusion-style taco. And they're good, too, for what they are. Like, they have a pulled pork one that is my love. Like, I love them. I think they're open nights now because their hours were a little... I couldn't really get to them, but they're open. And they also have a really good cheese dip.
Okay.
So, and then they have the Mexican street corn too. So they're good. Like it's,
I'll go for it.
But if you didn't like Torchy's, I'm worried that you may not, because they have a fried avocado taco there too. You may not like it. Yeah. But they're good.
I'm gonna give Austin Style Tacos another chance. I'm gonna give them a fighting chance, and I'll report back on.
I'm just excited that Lafayette's getting these good tacos because we have so many Mexican restaurants and they're kind of like not the best. Like they're okay. Yeah. And then Shreveport has amazing tacos. There's several different places. There's like an Austin style fusion one that's there. And then there's like actual, if you want legit tacos, like they have several places that are like that there too. And it's real good. So I'm so excited, but I really want to live in the parking lot behind Landry's. Like I want to be close to those tacos at all times. And I love that they're open later. Like, I love that they're open till 11. So if it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're like, man, and they were busy too. Like they had a constant line of people. So people know what's up. And if you're scared and you don't know what to order, they have like a picture menu that's right there on there. And it has like everything for you. And they had chicharron tacos too, which I don't see a whole lot, which it's the pork skin in case you're not aware, but they had that there too, and I want to work my way through that menu.
So I think you just already ruined my week because I was planning to like make a nice homemade chili tomorrow.
I feel like this is very much chilly weather,
but like I'm definitely now, pending rain, gonna like go, oh well, they're not open Mondays.
No,
you didn't ruin my week. I'm going to make my chili tomorrow.
There you go.
Tuesday night will...
And it's Taco Tuesday. That's when we went.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that's when we went.
It's the universe. I
also had the grapefruit Doritos for the first time because they had that there. And it's amazing. And the grapefruit Doritos it's a Mexican soda, in case anyone is wondering, is what they make palomas with. Traditionally, like a paloma is made with like the tequila and then the Doritos. So real good.
My language,
you can get Mexican Cokes there too. If they would have had horchata, I think I would have lost it. Like, I think I would have been like, excuse me, ladies, I'm moving in with you. You're going to teach me how to make these tortillas and let's eat all the tacos. It was really, it was going to happen.
All the tacos, all the cocktails.
Okay, we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we have more with AJ. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Deku, and AJ has been joining us as guest co-host tonight, talking about wine slushies during the break and our love for the frosé that I haven't had, but you've had the original at Willa Jean in New Orleans.
Which is so good, but also...
It's so easy to make it at home,
I know.
too.
That's what I was about to say. It's so easy to just throw in your blender and make. Now, I made the mistake of doing like a sparkling rosé the first time I tried to make it.
Oh, yeah. It's the fizziness.
So like my blender definitely exploded.
Oh.
Like there was rosé everywhere. But like now I know go flat and it was delicious. Last time you came on the show, we were talking about gin and tonics, and I was making a strawberry simple syrup, and I did the strawberry gin and tonics. They were so amazing. I'm telling you, fruit gin and tonics are the way of the future.
Well, and then from there, I had made like a strawberry simple syrup, and then I made a rosemary simple syrup because like I also did a gin cocktail with the rosemary. And I had the club soda in the fridge. I said, I'm just going to make a rosemary soda. And all I did was take the rosemary simple syrup, add the club soda, and you have like a rosemary soda. It was great. I'm going to add lemon next time, which there was like a bakery in Birmingham that last time I went to Birmingham, like all the restaurants were making their own sodas. Like it was very big there. And they had like a rosemary lemon soda there, and so it was real good. It was not, and so if you have anyone that's not drinking, that does not drink alcohol, I mean, you can do something like this with it. Like I have a friend that doesn't drink, and I was like, oh, next time you come to my house, I'm totally making you one of these sodas, because he grabbed the tonic water and just drank that, and I was like, you don't drink that straight. That's meant to go with gin. And he was like, it's fine. And then like his face, I was like, I've never had straight tonic water. I can't even tell you what that probably tastes like. I was like, if you're going to drink something straight, drink the club soda instead. But when he comes over now, I have something to make him. And I mean, it was good. Like I was like, this is really good. I was not expecting that.
I'm going to have to, okay, so I haven't tried, I make simple syrup all the time, but I haven't tried to like mix up and do like a fruit simple syrup, which I'm gonna have to like investigate that.
It's so easy. Like the fruit simple syrups I would say are the easiest, because it's just, I mean, 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, and then you add like your fruit
and then
to
you
it.
Just strain it.
Yeah, and then I strain it. Now with the strawberry, I actually took the pulp out, and it was like almost like a jam. And so I put it on bread. Like it was real good that way. But the rosemary, I just like scooped the rosemary out of it, and it was, I mean, it's real good. Simple syrup. I'm now on a mission. Like if you want to seem like you know a lot and you're real creative with your bar at home, make simple syrups.
Oh yeah.
And do something
Pull
with
that
that.
Out of the fridge in a mason jar and pour it into everything.
But a strawberry gin and tonic is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like,
and I've done it when I usually do them. We'll do it like muddled, but I'm gonna have to do this fruit simple syrup thing now.
Yeah. And I mean, somebody said that they only keep for like a week. Mine have been in there forever.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I may die, but it's fine.
But,
like,
I mean, death by simple syrup is the way to go if you're going to go.
What a better way.
Yeah.
What a better way to go. I also want to give a shout out to Cultured Guru, who were last week's guests. They gifted me with some of their kimchi.
Yum.
It is the best kimchi that I've ever had. If you're not a fan of the fishiness, and we had talked about that on the show, that they don't make theirs with fish sauce, they make it with seaweed. It is not overly potent fish sauce. It's really like fermented vegetables. It has a little bit of a spice to it. So if you're curious about kimchi and you want to kind of get your toes wet, theirs would definitely be the way to go. I did I took a fried egg last week. I fried it in duck fat because I was feeling fancy, and took rice with soy sauce, and then put the fried egg and the kimchi, and it was awesome. And it was like, that's like the easiest, cheapest meal you can make in the world. And it was really impressive to the person that I made it for. So I felt mad props to myself for it. But they're now at Tribe Collective. So if you don't find them at the farmer's market, you can get their stuff there. And then I believe they're also at Sandra's here in Lafayette. Because you were asking me about it, because you you said you were not the biggest fan of fermented things, but you're kind of obsessed with their Instagram.
Yeah. So like I haven't tried it yet because I'm like kind of cautious, but I'm like an avid fan of their Instagram.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They have beautiful pictures. Yeah. We talked about that on the show too, how they're making like fermented foods look sexy.
Yes.
And that's kind of a hard thing to do. There's this whole notion in the slow foods, locally grown market about making healthy food look sexy. Yeah. And I think that they did like an amazing job of that.
For sure. And also I feel like it shows how versatile it is because they're doing like their sauerkraut and their kimchi with in so many different recipes. And like they've got like a thing they're doing with like Tin Roof Brewing beer. So like so much is happening that I'm like, okay, maybe there's
I freaked out when I found out they made a sour beer because that's the only kind of beer that I like.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, had I known, I would have brought you some. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe I missed this. But yeah. And then even my dad after last week's show, because they were talking about their turmeric sauerkraut, like wants to try the turmeric sauerkraut. So I was like, even like, you know, it's really cool, like what's happening and what people are doing with different things. So it was delicious kimchi. And like, if you are curious and want to check it out, this would probably be the best way to go. And then from there, if you like it, you can go and try like more authentic Korean versions of it that do have like the super spice or like the intense fish sauce punch in the face that some of them have. You know, you can check those out to see, or stay with this one in the shallow end of the pool. Went to Rev Coffee this past week. They have a sausage biscuit that they're making their sausage in-house, and it's a beautiful thing. And I didn't realize you can get it with an egg, because that was my whole big thing when I posted on social media. I was like, I really wish I would have had an egg on it. And they were like, you can get an egg, like ask for the egg. So egg, sausage, cheese biscuit, and they make their biscuits there too.
Those biscuits are the size of my head.
They're huge.
They're amazing.
They're huge.
I had one for breakfast on Saturday.
Yeah. When I went in, and then somebody was telling me that they had a breakfast cereal scone at some point this past week too.
Oh yeah. I saw like what was left over on the plate. I didn't get to see the actual scone.
But the sausage biscuit was amazing.
So I was just there on, I think, Thursday, and I tried their espresso spritzer.
Okay.
And it has, I can't even remember.
So it's like a coffee soda.
Yes. So it's like Perrier and a shot of espresso and like muddled blackberries.
Okay, so is this more like of a summer drink kind of thing?
It's definitely like it's hot and I need a cool down, but I also need to wake up.
Okay, this is good to know.
Really, really good. Like on paper, I was like, I don't think that this is something I want to have. But Carter talked me into it, and I was really happy about it.
Okay, I'm going to have to check this out then. Because I drink hot coffee year-round, and sometimes it's just too hot to have the hot coffee, and you want some. But it's like I really don't like iced drinks. So I'll have to check that out and then see what's going on with that. And then on that same note, so last time you came on the show, the lab had just debuted their cinnamon rolls, and you were talking about how much you loved them. And I had them today, and we had talked about the sentimental feeling that I have for cinnamon rolls, and that none of them have compared to my grandmother's, and this one didn't either. Yeah, so I wasn't the biggest fan of the cinnamon roll. And I also had it cold. You said you had yours warm.
You have to have it warm.
Yeah,
for sure warm.
And so that maybe had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But it's just like my grandmother's were so moist and buttery, and it's because of the amount of butter that she had in it. I feel like one day I'm gonna have that Ratatouille moment where like the food critic like eats the food and he's like gets flashed back to his childhood, and it's like when I have that moment with a cinnamon roll is when I know that that's the way. Yeah, that'll be like a good cinnamon roll. But I went in their pastries are always so amazing. And that was one of the fears when Rev Coffee took over, is that their pastries were not going to be the same. And they were just as delicious. I was like, please don't take the scraps away. Like, please do not. I had the prosciutto and cheese one today. And there was like a breakfast cereal one of those that I really wanted. I wanted to be like, I would like one of each of these, please. I wanted all of them. And they had 3 different kinds of cinnamon rolls. I really wanted the chocolate and espresso one, but I was like, let me try the basic one first to see. And because I didn't like it, now I kind of don't want to try the other ones. Have you tried the other versions? I
haven't tried the espresso. I had like the regular one. So maybe I'll go be our proxy and I'll go try the espresso. Because I was just there today and like I love the scraps. I think those are so good. And I loved the cinnamon roll that I had, the like regular original one.
Okay.
So I'll go check out the espresso one.
Somebody was telling me that Black Cafe also makes a really good cinnamon roll, and you were telling me that they have good breakfast sandwiches too.
I love their burgers. I love their like sandwiches, and I love their biscuits. Like they have a super buttery biscuit, which like, but we've talked about how mutually butter is just the way to
butter is
heart.
amazing. Yeah, so, right.
Yeah, butter my biscuits, and I'll be a happy camper.
And on that note, we're going to take another break. Come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Deku, and AJ has joined us tonight as guest co-host. Since you're an expert on all things social media, we need to talk about the Snapchat that we've been talking about.
My favorite thing.
Yeah, so I'm an old person and I'm very new to Snapchat, and it's just weird to me, and I'm like trying to get into it, and you're like real into it. So we were just talking about like, so one of the things, they have like little icons that are next to people's names, and I found out today at work with the 20-something-year-old girls, because I mean they like live on Snapchat, like that's like everything. That's their life, like that's the social media that they choose. I was like I found out what the different icons were, and then we were just discussing. So there's a number by your name on Snapchat, and it's how many snaps that you've sent. And we were discussing someone, and he was like, oh, that's just how many he sent. I was like, well, I've only sent 400. And your face, and then you were like, look how many I sent. So how many snaps have you sent?
I am at over 166,000.
Yeah, so I'm not anywhere near that. Because, I mean, I was using Snapchat for the filters, because really I wish the filters were my life.
Yeah.
In some instances, I was like, I really wish that I could just have this filter on my life, but I'm trying to get more into it. I'm trying to figure out like how I would incorporate it into like the Lafayette Food Junkie, because I'm trying to figure out like how well it translates for food and what the difference would be between using that and Instagram.
Well, I unlike anyone who's personally knows, I snap everything. I snap all of my meals. I snap my friends' meals. But I also have loved to do a little Snapchat tutorial. Like when I just made this like prosciutto, arugula, and artichoke pizza, and like, did a step-by-step Snapchat thing. And the Memorial Day weekend, we did like ginger lemonade spritzers with champagne.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Like did that on Snapchat. So it's a fun way, especially if you're like making stuff at home.
So for like cooking demos, it would be kind of good for that. Okay. Getting there. I also like sent the wrong snap to the wrong person. Like I'm having like all kinds of issues with this, and I'm just like, man, it's like it's too much. It's too much.
But I'm really excited because there you can have a streak on Snapchat, and it like tracks how many consecutive days you snapped a person, and I'm about to reach 100 days. So I'm real excited about that.
My friend list is real small right now because I'm just I never really used it before, and so I've kind of been like playing around with it a little bit, and then like I wind up having so many snaps in a row because the videos are so short, and it's like I have to do like 2 or 3 videos to get like a complete thought out. So it's weird. I'm like, oh, the red's running out. I'm running out of time. And
Snapchat's an exercise in being concise for sure.
Very much so. Also, the panic of like, so you send it to them and then you can't open it again, and like they open it and it's gone. And then I'm like, what did I send them? Like, I want to see what I sent them again, but you can't. Like, you can't. It's gone. It's gone forever. So you've been celebrating the new job. You ate at Pamplona like 3 times last week.
Yeah. I ate there so much. I mean, and it's so close for lunch. So like I've had multiple lunch dates there, and then I had dinner there because I mean Wednesday all day happy hour. So like, how can you say no to $3 sangria? You really can't. And my little cousin just left to go to South Africa, so we had like a going away dinner for her. So like, I've had a couple good reasons to go there. And I actually just on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, went there for lunch, and the special was these cod tostadas.
Ooh.
And they were delicious.
Yeah.
And
I haven't been there in a while, and I want to go check it out.
honestly, like, it's offensive how much food they give you. Like, for the lunch special price, to get like 2 of the tostadas and an entire side of duck fat fries, I was like, who do you think I am?
You had foie gras last night, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I had their foie gras with this. It was like a honey sauce, and it was on top of a blueberry compote, and it was
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out because Jeremy Connor, when he was at Village Cafe, like made my absolute favorite foie gras. Him and then Pat Waters, who was at Cafe Vermilionville, the foie gras that he made there, like those are my 2 favorites of all time. And sadly, both of them are no longer there, so the foie gras is kind of gone. But I'm always on the hunt for another good foie gras rib.
Go give Pamplona a try because like they're my favorite. Like,
I love their paella like so much.
Yeah.
And then they have the chocolate churros on the dessert menu, and I ate there maybe like a year or 2 ago, and we ordered them for the first time, and I was like, why have I not done this before? This is so good.
I felt so bad. I was at a party last night talking about how much I love churros, and I realized that the person that I was talking to has celiac, and I was like,
she can't have them.
Churros? What do you mean? And I was really heartbroken for the rest of the night.
So if you love churros, go to Costco and the concession. I think they're like $1, and it's
I need to go.
this long. Like, it's super long.
It's probably a good thing I haven't been to Costco because I'll turn into a churro.
Yeah. Their concession is one of my favorite places to eat right now. I've kind of been working my way through the menu, but I'm just gonna say, like, the hot dog and the pizza is really where it's at. Like, I've had 2 other menu items that they've had, and they weren't good. And I'm like, no, hot dog, pizza, churros. I got a chocolate coffee from there, and it was pretty good. They put like, I feel like a cup of chocolate syrup in it. It was like so much chocolate syrup.
Which is necessary. Yeah.
But if you like churros, they do have a good churro over there. And so last time you came on the show, we were talking about cooking at home. You weren't really doing it. Still not doing it.
I'm like, every now and then.
living off of your roommate's cooking skills.
My roommate actually can cook really well. And like just last night made this delicious chicken parm. And I'm like, and it's like when you live with someone who cooks well, it's like, why even try? Like, you have the skills. Like, I don't want to keep you.
So what made the chicken parmesan so good?
So, oh my gosh, so much cheese.
Okay, but that's a key.
All of the cheese.
Like 3 pounds?
Yeah, so much cheese. And I love, like, when I go to get a spoon of, like, the sauce.
And it's all cheese.
I want a cheese pull.
Okay.
Like, I want it to be all cheese. And that's what I love.
Does he make his sauce from scratch too?
He doesn't. He loves to. So, like, last night he didn't, but he will do a sauce from scratch. Last night was like an easy, quick, like.
And is it the grilled? Does he bread it and do all that?
He does.
Yeah,
he bread it. He likes pan fries it. Or I don't even know. Does
so
it in the pan and then breads it.
That's really time consuming.
Yeah.
You gotta. That's like Parmesan is a commitment. Any kind. I think the last time I did like an eggplant parm, and I did it with like a low carb breading. So I did like flaxseed, and I did something else bulgur wheat maybe or something. It was almond flour. So I did flaxseed, almond flour, Parmesan, and it was real good. Because I mean, you can have like cheese and all that with the low carb, and you just can't have like the pasta. Did he serve it with the pasta too?
Yeah.
Or,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, so it was like.
So it was a carb overload. Which is like what I love.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah. Every time you need that.
And then you went to the Runaway Dish last Sunday and had Hawk's crawfish for the first time?
My first Runaway Dish experience. And so, that Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, I did the rosé and crawfish. And we had just talked about how neither of us had Hawk's before.
Right. And so now we've both had it.
Yeah. And I was super happy. It was delicious. And it was like 400 pounds of crawfish. So there was just like, I mean, smorgasbord isn't even the word because there was so much, and like I couldn't stop myself.
That's how I was when I ate it. I ordered 3 pounds because I am not a big crawfish eater, and I could have easily eaten more. Like I could not stop peeling it. It was just like memory coming back to me eating the crawfish. I was like, this is so good. So I will eat Hawk's crawfish every season now.
Okay.
Like once. Because I'm still not like, it's expensive. So, but it was good. And how did it pair with the rosé? Because I was curious about that.
Yeah. So even like Katie, who's part of it, was saying that she thinks it would have been better with champagne, but I was super duper happy with, I thought it was a good, like rosé, so especially like a nice, super, super, super cold one is like so refreshing. So like I thought it was it was exactly what I needed with like a million pounds of spicy crawfish.
And you said there was some people from Mosquito Supper Club that were there too.
So they had this wonderful bread that was by Diego.
Yeah. And he's moving to New Orleans.
Yeah, to go work with Levy Baker, who we just talked about, who I'm obsessed with on Instagram. So they did some of his bread and these like pickled shrimp, which was super good. And then Carpe Diem donated Mayhaw and champagne gelato pops.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, was the perfect way to like end off like my mouth fire from spicy crawfish.
And then next weekend, as part of your graduation celebration, you're going to eat at Doris Metropolitan in New Orleans, which is this amazing steakhouse that I've been drooling over on social media. And this is going to be your first time going there?
Yeah. This is my first time. So like we're finally, like my family's getting together to celebrate. And my sister is like a steak aficionado. And so I'm like, you take the wheel, because before her, I would have like a medium well steak.
And she taught you the love of the rare.
Yeah. She's like, you can let it touch the pan for 5 seconds and then you need to just eat it. So I trust her and I'm really excited about this.
I'm looking forward to these pictures on social media.
Oh, yeah. Everyone.
Yeah. You have to do, like, if I want to go there because it's just like old school steakhouse and you don't really see that a lot these days. And I want to experience that. Okay. We have about 2 minutes left to the radio show. So we're going to talk about who you're following on Instagram and social media right now, who's food related, Instagram and maybe Facebook that you're kind of obsessed over.
Yeah. Of course, everyone needs to follow me, AJMC3 on Instagram, because all I do is eat. But like I said, so like health foods have been really on my radar lately, not because I'm eating anything healthy, just because
you just want to pretend like you're eating healthy by looking at the pictures.
Yeah. So like a couple coming to mind, Cultured Guru, of course, that we talked about, City Greens, which is in New Orleans. It has a couple of locations, has beautiful photos, and something that I love is that they break down some of their menu items.
Okay.
In their Insta story every now and then, they'll do like a step-by-step what's in it.
Okay.
Which is, I feel like for restaurants, such a great use of their story, and then like a really pretty way to like see the different things that are going into stuff on their menu and to kind of introduce new menu items. So I love that. And also like on the health kick, a new place that opened in New Orleans, the Daily Beat.
Okay.
Is like another like healthy salad place that has really, really beautiful pictures that I'm like, I almost want to go eat a salad. I know I'm not going to, but like I almost
it makes you want
consider it.
We have to give a shout out to Levy Baker again because I'm dying. Like I need to go over there and every week. She started following me now too. Like after the last time you came on the show, she started following me on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God.
No, seriously.
But her page, like her pictures are so beautiful.
I gain 3 pounds every time I like a photo of hers because if you guys are not following just her, like, so all of the breads that exist in the world are coming from her Instagram, and it's so, I mean, it just looks amazing.
It's
and
beautiful.
I'm hoping, I like haven't been home on like a Saturday morning to go to one of her like bread sale pop-ups. I'm like hoping that like this weekend when I'm home
You'll
for
get
Gay
to go.
Pride, I can do it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, AJ. That's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. This is Tiffiany Deku on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, and this is the Lafayette Food Junkie Show. Thanks for listening, and as always, happy eating, Acadiana.